All right, just a fan podcast. We are here. We are here. We are back. Very exciting week of playoff football. A lot of news in the NFL. We're just fans. We're just here, watch all the games. We have a lot of opinions. We have a lot of knowledge. Um, to my left, we have Brandon Williams, the Human Encyclopedia. He's rubbing his hands. He's ready to go.
Yeah, boy, what's up?
Last but not least, we have Eric Pandemonium Wright, and I think he's ready to start some pandemonium tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna cover the lighter topics first, and then we're gonna get into because I got something I need to say.
Yeah, man, it's been a great weekend of football, man. I mean, division round playoffs. We had a lot of great games, man. A lot of overtime games. But let's get into it. Let's just get right to it. Tennessee and Cincinnati. Did anyone really think Tennessee was actually going to win this game? I'm not trying to throw shade, but coming in, Derrick Henry coming off of an injury. Yeah, Julio back. There are a lot of fresh legs in there. A lot of folks haven't played in a long time. Did anyone think that Tennessee was actually going to win that game? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. They had a shot. I felt like they had with the return of Derrick Henry, but I guess his legs just weren't under him. Then Tannehill decided to be Miami Dolphins Tannehill instead of Tennessee Tannehill, because I don't know what. Oh my God, they were in that game until Tannehill decided, no, I'm gonna go back to the Tannehill I was when Adam Gase was coaching me.
Three interceptions.
Yeah, man, what you doing, bro? Like, so.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way you're supposed to lose a game when you sack the opposing quarterback that many times. What was that? Was it
9 times? 9. Which basically tied a NFL playoff record. Because the Bengals offensive line was just that bad. But I mean, like I said, Tannehill's 3 interceptions hurt. And they were. You knew Tennessee kept fighting because like there was one play where Derrick Henry was on the sideline. They put the backup in there. He ran for like 54 yards, and you was like, "Oh shoot, this game is really going to be good."
Yeah, Foreman. He's a former
Foreman. Yeah,
he's a native of Galveston, Texas. Went to Galveston Ball High School.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to University of Texas. But yeah, he's a very underrated back. That's why
definitely
people were talking about how Tennessee, their running game. Well, the not so smart people were saying Tennessee, and they don't have a running game. Derrick Henry's down, but I'm like, this. You don't know who this Foreman kid is. He can run. He can tote the rock.
Yeah, he can.
And I just think they went away from that too much and leaned on Tannehill way too much, and it got out of hand because Tannehill, the moment was too big for him.
Yeah, I think we're going to get to not so smart people a little later on. I have a lot to say about that, but no, I think Cincinnati, they just had too much firepower on offense, man. Let's be completely honest. They have too much firepower, man. That receiving core, Burrow. Running back, the defense is good enough. It's just like you have to come with it, man. Like you have to match point for point, which is why this upcoming game this weekend between them and KC is going to be really good because you're going to see, as we spoke about it offline, it's going to be NASCAR in the AFC.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yes, definitely.
Now I'm going to say this, and I don't want to get too far ahead of us on our docket for tonight, what we're going to be discussing. I don't think it'll be like the Bills, Kansas City. I don't think Bengals, Kansas City is going to be that way because Kansas City does have the ability to rush the passer. And one of the Achilles heels of the Bengals offense is that
offensive line. Yep. Because you're talking about you got to deal with Jones, Ingram, and Clark. Yeah.
So if they're able to get, I'm going to say 4 sacks on Burrow, then that's when Kansas City's offense is going to take over. That's going to put them behind the gun. That's going to put them behind. They're going to lose the initiative. Now, the thing was they weren't able to get to Josh Allen. Plus, Josh Allen is just he back there like he Thor or somebody, throwing people off of him and running over people. So Joe Burrow's not that type of kid. And I know I'm pissing off the LSU people because y'all, if they went to LSU, they all of a sudden they godlike. If they ever wore the LSU jersey, but I'm just being real with you. That offensive line is a problem.
It is.
It is. And now I will say Tennessee's been known for the defense literally for years. So them getting 9 sacks, I can't expect it to happen again. 9 again. I will hope not.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. KC's, I don't know. I think KC's defense, I don't know if they're really that good. Now,
They are.
the Bills are good, but it could be a shootout. It could be a high scoring game. I think.
Now let me ask you a question. If Honey Badger doesn't play this game, because I don't know how he is after having a concussion on Sunday, what does that do for Kansas City's defense? Because like I said, the front four is good, but he's a leader and a communicator on that back end.
That's a lot of reasons why the Bills was able to do what they would do because he left that game early.
Yeah.
And that hurt them because it wasn't just his playmaking ability. It's the safety, depending on your defense, your safety or your middle linebacker is a quarterback of your defense.
Sure.
And
you got to have it up here.
And he knows how to get people lined up. He knows how to read the offense and say, okay, whoa, they about to run this. Go to this play. Go here. No. They coming this way. Right. So losing that, not just Tyrann Mathieu's playmaking ability in this stage of his career, but his football acumen and his IQ on the field.
Listen, and I pride myself on this. Tyrann Mathieu, I pride myself on finding out, who's doing what. He's a future first ballot. You look at the numbers. He's not talked about a whole lot. He is literally one of the best safeties ever. Like you have to look at his numbers, what he's done, on what teams. That's gonna be a good one, man. That's gonna be. I think it may be a shootout. Some of you guys think it may be KC by a score or 2. It's gonna be good football, man.
Definitely.
And like I said, we jumped the gun, started talking about KC and
yeah, I know.
We were supposed to be talking about Titans and Bengals, but the issue is going to be, and what I'm seeing is that the Bengals, if they cannot protect Joe Burrow and keep him clean, it don't have to be 9 sacks. Let's say they have to punt. Okay, let's say they have to punt a couple of times. The Bengals defense is not that great. Let's be honest here.
That's true.
So Mahomes decides to just go guano, and everybody knows what guano is. I can't say what it really is. But if Pat Mahomes decides to have a guano game, crazy game, then if they can go back and forth and go tit for tat, then it's gonna be like the last one. It's gonna be like the KC relays. That's what I call that game last weekend.
Tyreek Hill speed,
exactly.
especially.
I know, but if they're able to go tit for tat, it could be a different story. But what has to happen is that the Bengals have to keep Joe Burrow clean. Because if they get into a situation where they get stopped a couple of times, Kansas City's gonna score, and then that's gonna put them behind.
And I think Cincinnati did a great job taking advantage of Ryan Tannehill's mishaps and his weapons and the chemistry of the offense, but KC, you're not going to have those same problems.
No. You can expect that from Mahomes.
I like Cincinnati's young core. I think they have a bright future, but if I have to predict, I think KC gets this.
Yes, definitely.
I think they get this. I wouldn't bet on it, but I'm about 75% sure that they win this game.
And I say about 9 points.
I'm thinking if Clark can actually be Frank Clark for a couple of series, because it's really not about the quarterbacks or the playmakers, because both offenses have quarterbacks and playmakers. They both have good running backs. in KC's situation, they have a couple of good running backs. So it really comes down to who can stop who
Good point.
for a couple of series, and just to give them enough to get that edge. Let's say
Yeah.
KC goes down and they score, and then here come the Bengals and they score 7-7. And KC goes down and they score 14-7. But then the Bengals come on the field and they have to punt on whatever that series is. Now here comes KC. It's 21-7 now.
I think this game comes down to really which quarterback makes more mistakes than the other.
Yes.
And I think Pat Mahomes within the last 10, 12 weeks has made less mistakes than Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow's so great, but I think Mahomes has that experience. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a good game either way.
But you was great saying Mahomes has that experience, and not just experience, but this is fourth time in the AFC Championship game.
Right.
So yes, he had not just fourth time, fourth straight time. So yes, he has experience.
There's definitely going to be
this game is not too big for him.
The playoff experience, the big game experience is definitely that favors Kansas City.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of KC, what happened in that game? Eric, I'm gonna start with you. What happened? We know what happened in the game. What happened in the last quarter and the last 14 seconds?
It was a combination of Kansas City reverting back to the Kansas City that we know from a couple of years ago. Because first thing first, Kansas City tried to play that style of football early in the season and kind of backfired on them. They kind of stumbled a little bit. So they changed how they moved the ball. They went to okay, we're going to dink and dunk. We're going to pick up 8 yards here. We're going to pick up 7 yards here. We're going to pick up 4 yards here. That type of football. Whereas we knew Kansas City in the past, we finna get 30 yards right here. We're going to get 25 yards right here.
Mm-hmm.
So they reverted back to that 30 yards here, 25 yards here toward the end of the game. It's like, oh yeah, we were just playing possum.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, if I'm Buffalo, it's a combination of KC going back to playing like they know the type of football that we know they can play. Then it was a combination of the Bills just like, we're really not thinking here. And it'll take me into the Rams Buccaneers game, that last catch by Cup. That was Todd Bowles just straight up not thinking.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
But we'll get to that. But first thing first, it's 13 seconds left. You just took the lead. Okay, that's great. Kick the ball in bounds.
Thank you.
If I'm the special teams coach, if I'm the head coach, I'm going to the special teams coach. And I'm telling my special teams coach, tell that kicker to kick that ball in bounds.
Yo.
And I need everybody on that coverage team to get on their horse and ride.
Yeah.
Okay? If they want to run sideline to sideline, let them do that because that's going to eat up more clock. And then we're going to make a tackle. That's going to force them to have to come downfield with less time.
Yeah.
But no. You're going to kick it out the back of the end zone. You're going to leave Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Jason Kelce 13 seconds with 3 timeouts.
Listen.
Travis.
Kelce. I'm sorry. Travis.
Listen, on defense, you have a timeout. See, Buffalo hasn't had to really rely on their special teams a lot. This is a prime example of why all 3 phases of football are important. Offense, defense, special teams.
We talk about special teams when we talk about this Niners-Packers game.
Listen, okay, we'll get to that. But listen, I'm calling defense before kickoff. I'm saying, listen, we're kicking the ball in bounds. Just shave a few seconds off. They can move the ball downfield. They have the guy on their offense that's probably the fastest, the most elusive guy in the NFL, in Tyreek Hill. You can't kick it out the end zone. Put them on the 25. Dude, they have a timeout left. KC does. 2 first downs. They're field goal range.
I think it was 2 timeouts. I think it was 2 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken. They had 2 left, I believe.
It could have been.
Yeah, I know it was more than one. They had more than 1 timeout.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you have to key in. You have to call the right defense right there. And Kelce got free. First
I don't know how blown coverage.
Listen,
yeah. How do you let?
I'm focusing on 2 guys. I'm on defense. Tyreek Hill and that daggone Jason Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce.
They should people should know that by now that those are the two main guys you focus on.
Yeah, I trust single coverage with Miko Hardman. I trust single coverage on these other guys, but
if
there's anybody
you name
that
it.
I'm watching
Robinson, cool.
In the crucial moments of the game, you have to watch an all-pro tight end in Travis Kelce
and the burner Tyreek Hill
and Tyreek Hill, who's just insane in the open field.
Exactly.
You know,
listen, I'm running a quarters defense, which is different than prevent. I'm going to get to that when we get to the Rams game, because some folks don't know the difference between prevent and quarter and cover 4. I'm going to get to that because some folks think they know what they're talking about, they don't know what they're talking about.
Some people just really don't know that. Yeah.
But they got the go ahead.
So that brings me to talking about the KC relays. I'm gonna forever call it the Kansas City relays because that wasn't a football game, it was a track meet. But basically, you got people. I see it all on my social media feeds. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. They should change the overtime rules because it's not fair. You know what? I'm gonna say what I said before, and I'm looking in the camera, and I'm looking at you, America. Okay. If you one of them people that said they need to change the overtime rules because of what happened in that game on Sunday, you one of the people that like to get participation trophies for nothing. They didn't change the rule. What, less than 5 years ago? They didn't change the rule.
They changed.
Now you want them changed again because Josh Allen didn't call the right coin toss. He talking about there's nothing Josh Allen could have done. He could have picked heads.
Pando, listen,
They changed the rule back in 2010 in the playoffs only. Then they went permanent for regular season 2012.
I'm saying, if you want to start somebody play some defense.
Thank you.
There's three aspects of the game. There's offense, there's defense, and there's special teams. Quit crying.
And guess what? Hold on. Wait.
All these people that's talking about changing the playoff rules.
Buffalo Bills have 2 veteran safeties back there. They know better.
Wasn't all pro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was all pro.
They know better.
They're very good safeties. So get back there, get on your horse and ride. You ain't made a play all damn game. Let's make a play right here.
Exactly.
I wish the NFL would stop changing rules or penalties or overtime, whatever, because they're changing the scope of the league. They're creating conversations to say, what if so-and-so in that overtime game that just kicked the field goal, what if the other quarterback got the ball and went down and scored? What if they need to make a decision, stick with it. I think it should still be sudden death. They changed it, but now folks want, both quarterbacks should get the ball. Quarterbacks should get the ball twice. Like, nah, man. Nah, they in
the words of the immortal, who he ain't dead, but the immortal Ray Lewis, this is a man's game.
Right, exactly.
Tell me that you need to get the ball just because you couldn't stop me from scoring.
Exactly.
It's a man's game.
So this is we got to transition this into the Buccaneers Rams game. Brandon, you can start on this one because I have a lot to say.
Man, you know what? I thought the Buccaneers was going to win because I was so, especially when I found out that Whitworth was going to be out the game. I said between Shaq Barrett and JPP being able to pressure on the edges, Sue and Vea is going to stop whatever run game the Rams were going to try to do.
And for the most part, they did stop the run.
I know. And then you can have Devin White blitz every now and then. They should have no problems forcing Matthew Stafford to turn the ball over twice. Now, I was correct last week on the Rams turning the ball over. I was just wrong on the people because, it was 4 fumbles, but it just didn't come from Stafford. It came 2 for Kupp and then like 1 for somebody else and 1 for somebody else. But for the Bucks,
waiting to happen.
I know, I understand. But for the Bucks not to get at least 3 or 4 sacks and 2 interceptions off of Stafford, to me was terrible. I'm surprised the Bucks did not win this game at all.
And this is not making excuses, but Brady went in there with 2 backup tackles. I think the right tackle at this point, at one point in the game, got down to the 3rd right.
Yeah, did. That's right.
So it's like,
it's hard.
I'm sorry, and I don't really care for Brady much or whatever. I do respect him as a quarterback. But if Brady plays that game with his starting tackles,
Oh, for
we
sure.
having a different conversation
Yeah,
We
that's
are.
true.
today.
We are.
Okay. Because the Rams damn near gave the game away anyway with the backup tackles in the game.
We talk about Tristan Wirfs, the best right tackle in the game, literally.
Yeah.
It's only his sophomore season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And he didn't play. So
Exactly.
and Brady getting smacked up, they making him bleed his own blood.
And the
Uh,
Rams.
Who's that hit him and made him bleed? I forgot.
I forgot. I don't remember, but it was a meme though. They made a meme out of that from the dude dodgeball. How dare you make me bleed my own blood?
But another critical play was when Dominican Sue sacked Stafford and then got hit for a taunting call. Mind you, if you rewatch the play, folks.
Yeah, it wasn't a sack. It was an incomplete pass on third down. So it was a stop. Stop. Yeah.
But Stafford kicked Sue when he was going, like when he went down, he kicked Sue and Sue got mad, got in his face. That penalty put them in range to score. I think they scored a touchdown on that drive. You know what I'm saying? So that game really, I mean, Brady played, he did the best he could. No shade to him. He gets credit for, still being as good as he is. But the Bucs still found their way into overtime. And in overtime. So let me just say this. Let me explain to people who don't really know football like that. They just think they know. So cover four is when you have your two safeties drop deep, your cornerbacks drop deep thirds. Okay, just go back and drop in coverage. Okay, prevent defense is when you have three safeties back there dropping in deep thirds to where the safeties make sure no one gets behind them. The name prevent means they're preventing anyone from getting behind them. Okay, you have three linemen. The rest of the corners may have a linebacker hybrid as one. All right, that's what was not ran by Tampa Bay, and that's how Cooper Kupp ran past everyone for that big first down.
I wish we had film, but Tristan's not with us. But I went back and rewound that, and then all 11 players were in the box. They were at the line of scrimmage. I was just like, "What are you doing? This is not going to end well."
And they said Todd Bowles is blitz happy. We've seen it, but even if they were running prevent, so prevent defense, for those who don't know, prevent defense is what's ran against Hail Mary plays.
Exactly.
When there are five receivers running straight for prayer, you run prevent to have everyone back to stop a big play. Okay. Now, even if they ran prevent, and I think was that Winfield who came up? I forget. If 160 came up, you still have two shooting back 100%, and you still have a man.
There was nobody back there.
And you still have a man on each of the five receivers.
No, and furthermore, what are you doing? It's Cooper Kupp, man. Why do you have your safety covering Cooper Kupp? What are you thinking about, Todd Bowles?
You mean Cooper Kupp, the first team All-Pro receiver this year, Triple Crown?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Again, it goes back to one of those, just like what we talking about with KC. You take the best player out of the equation. Yes. You got to. You take the best player out of the equation. Cooper Kupp is at this point in his career, Cooper Kupp is better than OBJ.
Exactly. Yes, definitely.
But at no time should you have had a safety covering a receiver in a situation like that.
Never.
I'm like, oh my God!
You don't put safeties on receivers at all.
Antoine Winfield is a good safety. He's a very good safety.
Again, in prevent, all receivers have if it's man, they're all manned up. If not, they're all dropping deep thirds. Pretty much no one can pass anybody. This was not the case. This was not Todd Bowles' game plan that late in the game, man. Like, oh my goodness.
That's like Steve. I think somebody posted on Facebook. I think it's a mutual friend of ours talking about Todd Bowles should be considered for a head coach job, and we both were like, no, no.
Listen, I love supporting the brothers, man, but
no.
The Bucs they had the worst secondary last year. They won the bowl last year, but the secondary was still 29th in the league last year. This year they still ranked last. And they pulled that. I'm like, Todd Bowles, man, I don't know. I hope he keep a job in Tampa because
And Todd Bowles is a former NFL defensive back.
he was.
Yes, he is.
Played
Yes,
for
he is.
Washington
Washington, right?
Redskins.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Sure did.
I was like, it was pretty doggone good. I was just like, bro, hey man, this your position.
Yes, it is.
Like, bro, how you allow something like that to happen?
Well, I think he played corner, so I guess safety wasn't his concern in that game.
My goodness, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so moving on.
Right.
Talking about the next game, which was a shocker, was another walk-off field goal again. Niners at Packers, that everybody and their mama picked us to lose, including myself, because I had some doubts. I did. I picked the Niners to beat the Cowboys, but I was like, okay, the party's going to end in Lambeau. And I also said that, Green Bay was 8-0 at home this year. However, Aaron Rodgers was 0-3 versus the Niners in the playoffs.
Yo, so what? So that's a good point. So what is it, Eric? You know your team more than any of us here. What is it about? What was it about Aaron Rodgers going against you guys that he can't get over? Is it mental?
I mean, well, I can't say that. He has all the teams he plays. He does not see a pass rush as ferocious as ours.
True.
Period. Now, early in his career, our pass rush, we had Alden Smith, we had Justin Smith those years, but we also had an offense with Colin Kaepernick, and their defense was not up to they were not ready for Colin Kaepernick. And this year, the Packers defense was not ready for Debo. Who? Debo. I'm gonna tuck my chain in.
Listen, man, that boy.
So he can't match the chains. And people was talking about, well, Debo didn't have no huge stats or whatever like that. Here's a fun stat for you. If Debo Samuel gets 35 yards rushing, in every game he has had 35 yards rushing or more, the 49ers are undefeated.
Oh wow.
But you know what though?
Well, shoot.
The 49ers have been more physical in that cold weather stadium than the own Green Bay Packers. Because you want to talk stats? I got some for you. The last 14 playoff games in Lambeau Field, the Packers are exactly 7-7. Before that, they used to be 14-0.
Oh, they used to run it, especially when the temperature dipped below.
Packers power sweep. That's when they were physical. But
there's a stat, Brandon, and I know you know this, where it's like with the Packers in Lambeau, whenever the temperature dips below 30, I believe they're undefeated.
Yes.
Something like that. It
Yes.
was for a while. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a real stat for a long time. I think Eli broke that streak. Eli Manning. You remember that game where Tom Coughlin's face looked like it was melting, and Eli Manning went in there and beat the Packers in the I want to say it was the divisional round.
Yeah.
But they won the Super Bowl that year. The Giants did.
Yeah.
But
that's why, again, the Packers, they're a great team, okay? Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, future Hall of Famer. But when it comes to playoffs, they're not physical.
No.
They're not physical.
And as we're getting into talking about bully ball, the Niners been playing physical football all year long. This is something they practice on the regular. Mm-hmm. Teams want to all of a sudden jump up and try to match that physicality that week they play the Niners. And it doesn't work that way.
Right.
It doesn't. If you out there, boxing with kid gloves, and then you jump into the octagon with Kimbo Slice, who been bare knuckle boxing in the backyards, you're not ready for that. You think you're ready.
Right.
And that's not me bragging on my team or anything like that, but you're not gonna out physical the Niners. You may torch us. You may outspeed us, but you're not finna out. Like, I forgot who it was came on here last week talking about the Rams are physical. Man, if you don't get out of here with that,
and guess what? We about to find out how physical the Rams are now.
They not gonna be.
Let's get to that
right now. They not finna be. The Rams cannot. The Rams got 3 physical players on their defense. After that, nobody else is physical.
Thank you.
On the whole starting 22, nobody else is a physical player. You have Aaron Donald, who's a dog.
Yep.
You have Jalen Ramsey, who remind me of Kane off of Power Book 2. He just a thug. Then you got Von Miller in the waning years of his career. He still got a little physicality. After that, the rest of them, they caught.
And guess what? And guess what? Von Miller's playing better than the younger Leonard Floyd, opposite of him.
Yes, he is.
True that.
And I don't take that from him. But you're not finna sit up here and tell me that the Rams are a physical. No, you're not.
Not at all.
No, you're not. You're finessing.
So you also got to talk about what's up with the ticket situation, Eric. What's going on? Was it the Rams are selling tickets to Niners fans or something? What?
I'm a quote one of my favorite movie characters. I'm a quote one of my favorite. See the shirt? I set it up. Fear is the pathway to the dark side. Fear leads to not selling tickets to Niner fans. Fear leads to you losing 3 times in a row to the Niners. Fear, man, what team you know? Don't sell nobody no tickets because they gonna come in here and make noise. If you that much better, then you don't care who in there.
Thank you.
You gonna whoop our tail? Come whoop our tail, no matter who in there. You that scared? You really that scared? Sean McVay, Bradley Cooper from the Wedding Crashers looking tail, and he even encouraged you. Don't let nobody from outside buy no ticket. Really? Shouldn't you be worried about your game plan since you done lost to the Niners 6 times in a row?
Thank you.
6 times in a row. Eric,
instead of worrying about who's sitting in the stands. Really? Are you that terrified?
I gotta say, I'm proud, Eric, how you're censoring your language, man. I appreciate that.
Because you know.
I've heard it already.
Hey, Steve, if this was HBO at 11 p.m., man.
Boy, look at him.
HBO, we talking about Marco Polo Group, man.
No, I know that. Never mind.
Nah, but it's gonna be a good game, man. I had to educate some Rams enthusiasts as far as the history between McVay and Shanahan and how that's gone in the past. They're like, oh, really? Like, yeah, because a lot of people.
The ink still wet on the adoption papers. That's all I'm saying. Now, let me be fair. I'm gonna take off my fan hat and I'm gonna put on my analyst hat. Okay. The Rams can beat the 49ers because this is what I see. This is okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take off my analyst hat and I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat. There's been too much talk in the media about how great the Rams are from the beginning of the season. No matter how bad they play, no matter how many interceptions Matt Stafford throws, they all Matt Stafford. That boy threw 2 interceptions the last 2 meetings against the 49ers. He threw 2 the first time they played. He threw 2 the second time they played. He is the leading interception thrower of all the quarterbacks remaining in the playoffs. Look it up. Not even Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown more interceptions, and you know Jimmy gonna throw you one. Okay, but Matt Stafford, man, get out of here, man.
Yo, Dan Orlovsky said there's no other quarterback in the league he would rather have the ball game on the line.
We all know Dan Orlovsky be smoking crack.
He is.
Okay,
hey, look, Steve.
Passionate about his teammates.
That's crackish. That's just downright crackish.
Dan Orlovsky is the same knucklehead that ran in the back of the end zone for the Detroit Lions and gave the other team 2 points.
Correct.
That's fine. He can make a mistake, but he was literally in Stephen A. Smith squaring up, going hard. Like this was his like son or something. He was going hard.
Stephen A. looking at him like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, how can you say something that asinine? That's why we need to go national, because we do better. We would do a better job than some of these guys that's on ESPN and NFL. Now,
especially Dan Orlovsky.
And Dan Orlovsky's one of them. But how can you, after watching the way Pat Mahomes played in the 4th quarter, how can you say that there's no other quarterback you trust in the 4th quarter than Matthew Stafford, who has given away games in the 4th quarter?
Thank you.
I would take Josh. I mean, there are guys that aren't even in the playoffs that I would take over him.
I was just gonna say Josh Allen myself. Shoot,
That's just asinine. That is, oh my God, that is not even funny. So yeah, but I'm like, the one thing that I can tell you what's not gonna happen. I can't really say who's gonna win this game. I know everything points toward the Niners, but the way the Niners lose this game is injuries. One, because we're still waiting to see what's going on with Trent Williams. Okay.
I think he's supposed to play.
Yeah, it's still kind of up in the air. He's questionable.
Okay.
But that being said, week 18 we beat the Rams without Trent Williams. We went out there literally with a center and 4 guards and beat the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what people don't understand what an overwhelming victory that was, because we were missing guys. They were fully healthy. Okay. So the injuries and then the NFL hoobajoot, something like that. Watch for some questionable. I'm telling y'all, look, America, watch for questionable calls throughout this game.
Oh, it's gonna be home cooking. When you're preventing the opposing team's fans from buying tickets, you have to expect some home cooking happening.
Right. And like I had this one mental midget trying to argue with me on a YouTube thread talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, it is, and they gonna shut down. I said, obviously you've never watched any 49er games this year. We don't run off of Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers offense does not move off of Jimmy Garoppolo. He's ancillary. I said the running game, when we win, the running game is what does it. Jimmy makes a couple of throws.
But
Rambo, y'all won the ball against the Chiefs a couple years ago.
But you know what? Even if you didn't know that about the 49ers, you should know that about Kyle Shanahan.
Thank you.
Because he is the son of Mike Shanahan, who ran the ball in Denver.
Well, Brandon, let me qualify that a little bit, because Mike Shanahan also was the offensive coordinator for Steve Young the last year.
Okay.
And
I understand that. I understand that.
He knows when he has a good quarterback, he gonna let it fly.
No. I understand that. But what I'm saying though is, when Mike Shanahan was in Denver, Terrell Davis, Clinton Portis, Orlando Scary, Ruben Drones, Tatum Bell,
the foundation
Mike Bell.
Was the one game. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. And so, yes, I get what you're saying about him in 94 with the 49ers. I get that. But he is outside zone guy, run the ball. His son took over that, and he's outside zone 2.0 because he's a heck of a run game designer.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like Mike McDaniels has been courted by the Dolphins to be the next head coach. He's been interviewed, and people were asking me, was like, well, how do you feel about Mike McDaniels if he leaves? I'm like, I don't care, because Shanahan's offensive coordinator. Now we lose D'Amico Ryans, that's another story. It's gonna be hard to come back from that.
Because then you lose 2 defensive coordinators in a row.
In a row, and we've had a top 10 defense with both of them.
Yeah,
and it's like with as bad as our corners have played this year, D'Amico Ryans has neutralized most teams' biggest receiving threats.
He's getting your favorite, Eric. You weren't a fan of him early on.
No, I wasn't. I'm here to say it. I got some crow burgers in the microwave. But the way he has been called, like, if it was not for D'Amico Ryans, there's no way we beat Green Bay like we did. Okay, There's no way where we're close enough to where a block punt and a block field goal basically win us the game.
Well, you know what? Guess what? I understand that Green Bay Packers had the worst special teams group in the during the regular season,
and I thought it was us, because our special teams have been abysmal.
Now, guess what? You guys weren't really all that much better, but Green Bay was the worst though.
Yeah, they showed it.
And they really showed it. They have 10 folks on the field.
They had 10 people on the field on the winning field goal. Yes, this is true. And you know, people talk about, well, y'all got lucky with a block punt. Y'all got lucky with a block field goal.
That's not luck.
That doesn't happen on the regular. That's not luck.
That's not luck. That's film study. Look.
Yeah.
Look. And I know Dallas is limited, but this is what I know. Dallas has blocked 3 or 4 punts this year. John Fossil made those things happen based off of film
Oh, absolutely.
study.
Hell, yeah, they kept Dallas in the game with San Francisco. That fake punt is what kept Dallas in that game. You know, I mean, Fossil did a fantastic job in Dallas as a
Yeah.
special teams coordinator.
Yeah, of course.
Hightower in San Francisco, like we were burning him in effigy. You know, because it was bad. Our special teams cost us a lot of games because not a lot of games, but they cost us some games because they let the team kick coverages were bad, our punt coverages were bad. We were allowing teams to start their field, you know, their starting field positions way too good. They were either inside our territory or right at the cusp of our territory. And that made the defense work hard, you know. So yeah, special teams is an important part of the game that people are not recognizing.
3 phases of football.
Thank you. 3 phases of football.
Forget
about special teams.
Guys like coaches like Bill Parcells and Joe Gibbs in history always put an emphasis on special teams.
Absolutely.
And those two guys in the Hall of Fame, if they're in the Hall of Fame, for part of that being the reason, then that should still be important today amongst these new coaches.
Absolutely. And hats off to Richard Hightower for actually removing head from rectum and actually calling a good game as a special teams coordinator. Like, we have been having trouble with kickoff returns for the longest. What do? They put Debo. Who? Debo back there, kick return. What does Debo do? Return the ball in the Packers territory. You know, I'm like, because he did return a few kicks back in South Carolina. A lot of people forgot about that. But I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife. Oh my God! Like, yeah, I've never seen a player like
I can't really compare him to anybody. I really can't.
He's a true playmaker, though. I will say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I can't think of someone I can mention him with. To be honest, he's still so young.
And if I'm Kyle Shanahan, like, I am decoying the heck out of Debo Samuel this whole game Sunday, because they gonna be keying Debo like they did in Week 18. The Rams keyed Debo, and they had him kind of shut down for the first quarter, and then he got loose anyway. But I'm gonna make all kind of formation shifts and use Debo as a decoy.
Yep.
Because everybody go wherever Debo goes, Debo go to the bathroom, they gonna follow him.
But you have to follow him. That's the hard part.
Right.
Like, you have to, like.
And I turn around, I hand off to Elijah Mitchell, and he gets a 12-yard clip right quick.
There you go.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. So which is the third way the Niners can lose this game is Kyle Shanahan being obvious. It's not so much egregiously bad as if he leans on Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the ball. That's going to be really bad. But even when he calls runs, he has to be way more imaginative, because the running game didn't really get going against Green Bay until he started with a lot of misdirection stuff, making those linebackers jump out of place. But early on the game, he was trying to come straight down here, and they were stuffing us. And I was like, "Hey man, I'm glad you're running the ball, but what you doing? Yeah. What you doing, man?"
Yeah.
We predicate off of making people move where they don't want to be when the play comes downhill. And that's the key to the offense. So if Shanahan is imaginative with his play calling, he's going to have them linebackers jumping everywhere, left and right, the wrong way, and whoever has the ball, 6 yards here, 7 yards here, 10 yards there, you know, and control the clock, keep Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp on the sideline. Yeah. Better than any D, they can shut them down doing that better than any DB on our roster.
Yeah.
Period.
So we can move this into who Jimmy used to back up. Tom Brady, y'all. You think does he have? I mean, we know he has more left in the tank. Is he calling it quits? What do you guys think he does?
As a staunch Tom Brady, I have a love-hate relationship with Tom Brady because I respect his game. I just don't really like him. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers, I respect his game. I don't really like him. But I can't believe I'm about to say this. I don't want to see Tom go yet.
Okay.
He's good for the game. He is. And I want to see him because I know Brady can play at least 2 or 3 more years.
Oh, yeah.
And be effective.
Oh, yes.
This game is not indicative of this year. He has you lost Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown acting like he's smoking crack. Then you lose your tackles.
Yeah.
That if Tom Brady lost and he had all his horses and he loses like that, fine, go to the house. You ain't got nothing left to prove.
Right.
But as a bigger competitor as Tom Brady is, I just, he said he's gonna sit down and talk with his family and so on and so forth. But I'm like, I can't walk away like that.
He'll be back.
Yeah, I can't walk away like that.
Listen, he'll be back because, listen, all the greats have had their farewell tours. You think Tom Brady's not gonna have a farewell tour?
Right.
He'll be back.
Let's be real. Tom is narcissistic as hell. So
exactly.
It's gotta be like he the only person
proper circumstance.
A radio show, and he's still currently playing in the league.
Yeah.
He's a serious XL radio show.
Yeah.
And you still playing, bro.
Yeah.
He the only cat I know to do that. It's got to be all about him. So that's why I feel like he's gonna come back because it's like one the way he lost, and then again he got to make it about him.
What you think, Brad?
So yeah, I don't see him. So let's talk about these. Let's talk about speaking of changing, big sweeping changes. Sean Payton has stepped down as the coach of the New Orleans Saints. Now, I have a lot of theories about why that happened.
Go ahead.
Talk. Go for it.
So first thing first, our resident New Orleans Saints fan, Mr. Jahel Burke, shout out on Carl Lambda. Okay, but he said that that Sean Payton had, I believe, 2 more years on his contract. Okay. 3, excuse me. Okay, thank you, Brandon, because I know you're going to correct me on these numbers. That's why we got you, because you going to, hey, man, no, it's 3. Okay. All right, so 3 more years on his deal. Now, you're probably saying, well, why would he want to do that? Jameis Winston was actually starting to round in the form before he got hurt. The defense is ferocious in New Orleans. Like, it's the second coming of the Dome Patrol. Okay? They are really good, and they're really fast, and they're really young. And you're like, why would he want to walk away from that? Because he can get right back into the middle of things with a healthy Jameis Winston under his tutelage and da-da-da-da-da. But here's the thing. The Saints are in salary cap hell.
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Last year, they worked miracles. They brought in Harry Potter with his magic wand. Simpermonious.
Yeah, because they were like they were $100+ million over the cap
and
last
they made
year.
it work. They got that joker down. I was astonished at how well.
I was too. This year,
hats off to their front office for being able to do that. But guess what? They're right back in the same spot.
Yeah, 70. This time, $70 million.
Yeah. So now, Sean Payton's looking. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm looking at like, well, okay, wait a minute. That means we're gonna have to let go of some guys that can still help us win to get under this cap. And then it also means we're not going to be able to go shopping in free agency for any impactful players to replace them.
You got to draft very, very well.
So we got to lean on just the draft. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, so that's theory number 1. Theory number 2 is everybody's not feeling so great about Mike McCarthy in Dallas. I know you 2 guys aren't.
Nope. And actually,
Payton was a assistant in Dallas, and he got passed over for the head coaching job, which was one of the hugest. Y'all would probably have Super Bowl 7 by number 7.
Probably.
At least you'd have at least 2 of Sean Payton.
Romo would still be playing right now.
Mike McCarthy was not even the first option in 2019. Actually, here let me jump in on this. Okay, yes, Sean Payton was our assistant. He still has a home in Dallas. Okay. He still has a very good relationship with the Jones family. Okay. If anything, Jerry Jones. Hold on, give me a second.
Oh Lord, he didn't pull it out. Wait, he pull it out? He pulled out paper. It's over now. He got the pad, the pen. Y'all just don't understand this.
The man is not afraid to write checks. Now I know this is not a check, but I'm just letting you know.
Okay, so you use it a prop. Okay, it's a prop.
Yeah, it's a prop.
I thought you had written some notes. I said, Brandon, go into his notes.
He's not afraid to write checks.
No, he's
Okay,
not.
he don't get hand cramps.
Nope.
No, wait,
Sometimes
no.
it's his own fault.
Okay,
Sometimes it's his own fault.
yeah, you're right. But guess what? When it comes to coaches, there's no salary cap. You can pay this man. Okay. Now, it may not happen this year. And if it doesn't happen this year, I understand. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. Mike McCarthy is gonna be on the hottest seat for coaches in NFL history.
Yes.
He has to, at the minimum, get to the NFC Championship game. At the minimum, get to the NFC Championship game. No, wait. And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna throw some more stuff into the pot. I want Jim Harbaugh hired this year. Why? Because guess what? John Gruden was getting paid $10 million a year, right? Was. Urban Meyer was supposed to get paid somewhere between $12 and $13 million a year. You know Harbaugh's gonna get paid more than what Urban Meyer was getting paid.
Absolutely.
You know Sean Payton gonna get $15 million living in the state of Texas where there's no state income tax.
And Sean Payton got a Super Bowl trophy.
That's a good take, Brandon. I don't want to get my hopes up, so I'm
not either, but
okay.
But hold on, and one more thing. Like I said, 2019, Mike McCarthy was not the first option. They had a contract ready for Sean Payton, but what happened was Anthony Davis wanted out of New Orleans in the NBA, and the GM Mickey Loomis told the Benson family, "You don't want to lose two big time people out of New Orleans in the same year."
So you're saying he's available for a trade to Dallas?
Hey, look, it's either trade or money composition.
So here's my theory on it. And I can't prove it.
Okay.
Go ahead. But basically, I think Sean Payton consulted with his agent or his financial advisor, whomever. And basically, he's like, well, we looked at your contract, and it basically, you can't leave and go anywhere. But if you retire, that releases you from your contract. So I'm thinking that's what's going on. So if I retire, then I can get out from underneath this contract that I still got 3 years on.
And do some broadcasting for 1 year.
And maybe broadcast for 1 year. Or now here's next thing. If it's not Dallas, even though Dallas makes the most sense. And that I would really fear y'all if Sean Payton was coaching y'all. But that's neither here nor there. You got Trevor Lawrence that's sitting right there in Jacksonville. You got Justin Fields in Chicago that needs a good coach. That's toys for Sean Payton.
Yeah, it is.
Great young quarterbacks is at the beginning of their career. They really unblemished. They only had 1 year. They're unblemished. It's kind of like
one wasted year, unfortunately.
It's a wasted year, but it's like when you order something from Amazon and the package already been open, but you ain't really mess with it. You just put it back in the box and send it back to
you. Shoot, imagine with the Chargers.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Who's already, he's already kind of making hay already. He just needs a better coach. So you got other options. And so he's thinking, man, look at all of these. I like Jameis, but Jameis be doing some stupid stuff. And that's not his fault. It's just because he's been in the league so long doing stupid stuff with stupid coaches. I don't know if I can fix that. However, there's Justin Herbert over there. However, there's Trevor Lawrence over there. And I know they like Byron Leftwich. He's a front runner. He's a finalist for the job. But I'm Sean Payton. I'm Sean Payton. I got a Super Bowl. I got head coaching experience. Don't think for 1 minute that if Sean Payton decides to interview for the Jacksonville job,
he can go where. Listen, if Sean Payton enters the coaching interview pool, he can go wherever he wants to go.
Of course.
Jobs.
And he trumps Jim Harbaugh because he actually has won a Super Bowl. Jim was 5 yards away from winning one, and he won 80 to a horrible 49ers team, and never had a losing record in the NFL. And he will be the front running candidate But if Sean throws his hat into that coaching pool, that bumps Jim Harbaugh down one notch.
I hear you.
If
So
Sean
okay.
Payton,
Yeah.
then it's Jim
Okay.
Harbaugh, then everybody else.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say
I
there's
agree
no
too.
one above Harbaugh except for Sean Payton.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So that's my tinfoil theory on that, and we'll see as it's one of those. Let's just watch and see what happens. We could be completely unequivocally wrong about this.
Oh yeah, of course.
Really wrong, but let's just see what happens, because that's what I'm thinking. Because there's certain things that are in play that would rationalize why Sean Payton will walk out of New Orleans, where they absolutely love him down there. They got, I mean, I'm friends with a lot of people from New Orleans, a lot of Saints fans, and they absolutely love Sean. That man can't pay for a meal in New Orleans. He can't pay for a drink in New Orleans. His money is no good down there. They love him down there.
They love him. They love Drew Brees, and they love Archie Manning.
Now the affair with Drew Brees wasn't so hot after the last couple of years. They kind of cooled on Drew a little bit.
Yeah, because what he's saying.
They love Sean Payton. They do love Sean Payton. So for him to walk away from all that love, because what's one of the things, the support that a coach gets, that they don't talk about it much, but that really makes your job easy when you got a lot of support, and the city loves you. So again, could be complete tinfoilery, but that's what I'm thinking. It's the cap situation in New Orleans, and the promise of something that he could get into that's a lot better. Jacksonville a lot of cap room. I hadn't checked the Bears yet, but I think they got a lot of cap room. I believe the Chargers have a lot of cap room. So I can go shopping.
Especially because they traded Melvin Ingram, didn't they? That was a trade, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yes.
Oh yeah. So yeah, because he just got his extension probably 2 years ago.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. And if he takes a year off, does broadcasting, we know for sure. Well, not for sure, but that's the probability raises that he's looking at Dallas. He takes a year off. He does broadcasting. He lets Mike McCarthy completely screw the pooch one more year.
Man, Dallas is going to
and it's going to be worse because Dan Quinn is going to get a job.
Oh yeah,
by 2 or 3 jobs.
Yes.
Listen. They're saying Denver. Dan Quinn leaves. Even though if I was Denver, I would hire Airbnb. That's a different story. Dan Quinn leaves. It's over. It's over for us next season. It's over.
Oh, and guess what? By the way, I heard that Kellen Moore will not become a head coach anywhere this year, so he's going to remain our OC.
Yeah, because he had terrible audition against the Niners, and against the Broncos, and against the Raiders, and against the Chiefs.
He should not be.
So that's y'all can have him. Y'all can have him. Steve, take him.
He should deserve a head coaching job, and Eric Bieniemy doesn't get one.
To be honest, Steve, to be honest with you, I think it's more to than just that. I don't think he's ready to be a leader of 53 men.
He doesn't look like a leader. You can tell he's not a leader. You can, look at him. Come on, man. He's not a leader of men. So that's why I said, hey, man, y'all can interview him. Y'all can please take him. He ain't done nothing special for us. He padded some stats. We got some, so many yards, but in big games, he did not call the right stuff.
Nope.
Yeah, he folds like a piece of paper. That's why I say I don't. After the way you look at Eric Bieniemy, and I think what hurts Eric Bieniemy the most is, and I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. One, he's a brother, and then 2, he's sitting behind Andy Reid. So they saying, well, he's really not that good. It's really Andy Reid. So I'm thinking.
Well, look at Bill Belichick's assistants who all failed in the NFL.
Exactly, because they were sitting behind Bill Belichick. Because they were all Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniel, Matt Patricia,
Romeo Cornell, Eric Mangini,
yes,
Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame,
yes, he failed on the college level. He ain't failed on the NFL level.
Yes.
I just go down a level and fail. You know what I'm saying? Like So. The only one that had really any success, and they fired him, was Flores. And that was, we all talked about that before. That was a farce. That shit didn't happen.
Now, even though he was not an assistant in New England, he was a player in New England. Vrabel is having success down in Tennessee.
Yeah,
He is.
yeah, he's doing well, but ooh, don't get me started talking about that game again. Because there was some questionable calls made in that game.
Yeah,
There were.
You know, he's got to learn how to coach in a big game because that's okay. I can get you there, but when we get there, same thing as Kellen Moore. I can do enough to get you there, but what you gonna do when the chips are down and it's the big games?
Yeah.
hey,
You know, and that's been Vrabel's issues so far. Is that hell? You can say that about Kyle Shanahan. I can get you to the Super Bowl, but what do I do when I get there?
You can say that about Sean
He's done
McDermott,
that twice. He's done that when he was an OC at Atlanta, and he's done that with the Niners 2 years ago. It's 6 minutes left on the clock. You know I'm about to go into my spiel. It's 6 minutes left on the clock. You're up by 10. You got a running back that's averaging 5 yards a carry. What are you doing throwing it?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
and you know, and we can close with like that same thing. Sean McDermott, man, he's undefeated at home in the playoffs, but on the road he loses a lot, man. And for some reason, I was like, I don't know what it is, but
when you get on the plane,
and I wanted the Bills to win. But
offensive line, run game, defense, playoffs is cold outside. It is cold outside. I said earlier in the show that the Packers are 7-7 in the last 14 games at Lambeau Field because they're not physical.
Wait, what do you mean it's cold outside with the Bills? They play in the cold at home.
Yeah, because y'all gonna say the Bills, man.
It's colder in Buffalo.
It gets pretty cold up there, dog.
No, I'm just talking about in general. I'm not talking about Buffalo. I'm not talking about Buffalo solo. Okay. I'm talking about general. Okay. That's what teams need to do.
But yeah, I mean, when going back to that Niners Packers game, when they lost Dillon, who was their pounding back, that really hurt them.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was their only touchdown the entire game, so it was like, you know.
Yeah.
And again, hats off to D'Amico Ryans because you know people say, well, you know, Dante, what I'm trying to say, what's the guy's name? Adams. Adams had 90-something yards. I say, yeah, but did he get in the end zone? And Aaron Rodgers threw for, but did he throw a touchdown? How many people can say
that's kind of like Matt Ryan and Julio Jones?
Right.
That's a different conversation.
How many people can say they went in the Lambeau Field and kept Aaron Rodgers from throwing a touchdown?
Right.
In the playoffs.
Right.
In cold weather. And you expect me to be scared of Matthew Stafford? in a dome stadium? Come on.
Nah, man. I mean, but look, man, we have a lot of good games coming up this weekend. They should be good. Well, not a lot. We only have two games this weekend. They're both going to be good. I'm excited to see what happens, man. I know who Eric's picking. Eric, who do you have on the AFC side?
Okay, so on the AFC side, Bengals and Chiefs. I gotta lean toward the Chiefs for the one aspect of the playoff experience.
Yep.
The Bengals, we've already talked about this in previous episodes. The Bengals are ahead of schedule.
Yes, they are.
They're not even supposed to be where they at right now. They're a phenomenal team, and they young. This game is going to put a fire in their belly for next season when they really start to light stuff up, when they really fix that offensive line. Oh, my God. Power shift in the AFC North. Power shift. Okay. And the Ravens fans, y'all, don't get mad. Actually, I don't care if you're mad, but Ravens fans, go on and deal with it. Steelers fans, you got to deal with it. Cincinnati's about to start running that division. If they make the right draft picks and the right moves in free agency, they're going to run that division. But as of right now, I don't think they're ready. The X factor is the playoff experience that the Chiefs have. And I mean, they're Super Bowl champions, the AFC champions from the previous year, two-time AFC champions. I don't see them losing this game. I don't see it.
Okay. Brandon, who you have?
Well, about to have a Super Bowl rematch, San Francisco versus Kansas City. That's the way I see it. outside of what Eric just said, I don't like Cincinnati's offensive line, and I don't like the Rams' offensive line. And I just said it. You need an offensive line in the playoffs.
I agree with that. San Fran, I'm gonna pick San Fran. They've had on paper, if it was Madden, I could do some things with the Rams, but for some reason, Kyle Shanahan had Sean McVay's number. They're more physical up front. That's where the game's won.
Yep.
I gotta go KC. They have too much firepower, and the defense is better than
And,
defense.
and let me say this, because like I said, the Rams could win this game still, but I'm picking my team this time because the only way I see the Niners losing to the Rams is the Niners beat themselves. The Rams are not going to beat the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
The Niners have to go out there and actively say, we're going to lose this game. We're just going to be stupid.
Sure.
That's it.
Or
the Hooper Juke. Watch the Hooper Juke.
So he's just Hooper Juke. He's saying home cooking, which home cooking translates to the refs calling in favor of the home team. That's what home cooking means. Because some of y'all don't some of y'all don't know these football terms. I'm gonna educate some of y'all on this stuff. And y'all want to comment and be critical of what I say. So yeah, I'm calling y'all out. I'm not gonna mention names though. But no, man. Just a Fan Podcast. Follow us, subscribe. YouTube, Facebook, Just a Fan Podcast, or Apple Podcasts, all the major platforms. I think that's all we have for this week. Appreciate you guys. Keep tuning in. We'll be back next week to give a big show previewing the Super Bowl. So thank you guys, and we're out of here.
Peace. Wait, where'd Brandon go? Peace. Like and subscribe. Just a Fan Podcast.